Another episode of Talkin Geek, Season 3, Episode 6. We've lost count.
Episode Coronavirus.
Yes. We were delayed, by a week for that. Thanks, Corona.
We got, everyone's fine, first off.
We are.
But we are in a temporary different setup and studio. In an abundance of caution, we just, we want to make sure that everyone stays safe. So,
He sprayed disinfectant on me when I walked in the door.
Absolutely.
It burned.
Well, you didn't have to come over.
We got to do the show for you guys, though. We got to get this going.
Huh.
So, guys, again, I'm your host, Aaron, with my fabulous co-host, Robert, which you all know him by now. And on Talkin Geek today, we have Take My Money. We have videos from the net. And we have geek news today. We actually have quite a bit of geek news today. Because we didn't do anything last week. We have some news from then and up till now.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to do, of course, is take my money. But
shut up and take my money.
But as you can see, we have no soundboard, so we have to sing it ourselves, I guess.
Here comes the money. Money, 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 money.
And thank you, YouTube, for copyright strike.
No, I'm not that good a singer.
No,
I'm
okay.
I
can't sing. So the first we want to do for Take My Money is we're going to cookbook that I saw the other day. And I gotta pull it back up. I don't have any number prepared, guys.
Oh man.
It's called The Geeky Chef Cookbook. Real life recipes for your favorite fantasy foods. The unofficial recipes from Doctor Who, Game of Thrones, Harry Potter, and more. As y'all know, I'm single. Frank points it out, and so does somebody else that points it out too. And
it's self-evident.
Look, Culver's is going to support us Sunday, and we're going to be sponsored by them.
Sure.
And we'll be okay.
Is that... I'm failing to see the connection here. You jump to a conclusion. Look, I didn't even bring up the point that you want to take people on dates at fast food restaurants.
I'm trying to keep putting Culver's in there.
Okay.
If I keep talking about it enough, Culver's will hear it.
It's just subliminal messaging.
And just like Starship Troopers, and it fits in with Culver's.
What?
Exactly. It's like Culver's.
Who's Starship Troopers?
No, I said Culver's has good ice cream.
Oh, well, they have custard. They don't have ice cream. So
there's a difference?
It's frozen custard. It is definitely a difference.
I don't eat it, so I don't know. But I like their chicken strips, and I'll be happy to take buffalo chicken strips any day of the week.
Sure.
But because I can't eat out every day, because this is how I got this way, I'm going to go ahead and cook stuff. So I do love cooking, so I think it's really cool. You can get different recipes from different stuff that you like, whether it's Doctor Who, Harry Potter, etc. You could maybe try to recreate some of your favorite foods that you've seen, that you're like, that looks good. How do I make it?
A little butterbeer. Harry Potter.
I think you even made a comment earlier about some milk from...
Blue milk in Star Wars. Well, and the other one I think is also Harry Potter is fire whiskey. So I don't know if that's in there, but I want some.
I will find out how to make it for you now. I will find this out. But definitely, I recommend checking it out. It could be something fun you could do for your kids, too. If your kids like Harry Potter or Doctor Who, you can maybe make something with them if it's not too complicated. Or if it is, you can at least make and be like, hey, look, this is from your favorite, like you said, the butterbeer from Harry Potter.
Yep.
Or, whatever the case may be.
It's your favorite Game of Thrones meal.
Roasted pork.
Because you normally show, 7-year-olds Game of Thrones, right?
You're right. Yeah, totally do that.
We support the idea that you do not show that show
do not
to your children.
No. At least wait till they're 18. Then if it's your child at 18, who cares what they're doing? They're the state's problem.
Yeah, sure. Something like that. 14, 15 is probably... you probably...
You get away with it. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. But enjoy this cookbook. So definitely check that out, guys.
Yeah.
Of course, these links for both of our items that we're choosing today will be in the comments below. Yours relates to the shirt you're wearing today.
It does, by coincidence.
Sure.
Coincidence. I didn't actually choose this shirt because of it, but I came across a mirror that is in the shape of the Batman logo. So if you're looking for a little bit of home decor, this is a cool item you can throw up on the wall if you've got a geeky den or family room or something like that. You can throw a little sweet mirror in. I'm trying to figure out where on my wall I could put a sweet Batman mirror. My wife's pretty geeky, so I think she'd be down with it. I just got to find a space for it.
Exactly.
So that I can justify spending the $30.
So since it does look like the Batman symbol like
yes.
that, do you put it long ways or How would you do that?
I mean, that's if you put it long ways. That's kind of like what is that Justice League Doom, where he's holding up the batarang.
Yeah, it's kind of more of a full mirror at that point because you put it the other way.
Yeah, I don't think it's that long. I think it's only maybe like this wide or so.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you.
I mean, it wouldn't be a full length. It'd just,
No.
I guess at that point, it'd just be like your chest up.
Yeah,
maybe.
but
The other way,
I
it's just
did
your head.
I did have this thought.
Okay.
You know, about like Bruce Wayne, obviously. And, thinking about Bruce Wayne, I'm wondering, has there ever been or should there be a storyline where instead of, Bruce Wayne being completely outspoken against Batman, as he usually is, he's like a super fanboy of Batman. And he's got like a shrine. He's got tons of Batman memorabilia everywhere in the Wayne Manor. And like everybody that comes over, he just like talks their ear off about how cool Batman is and all this stuff. And it's like, it's partially narcissistic, but it's also partially that it's to throw people off the scent that he's Batman. Like, I think
that would be interesting.
I think that would be totally funny.
I don't think I've ever seen a comic book storyline where he's like obsessed with him in that way. Like, oh
Yeah.
my god, a fanboy, yeah. But could you just imagine like walking in and like, oh my gosh, and it's like all the newspaper clippings that he was in.
Yeah.
It's all like all this memorabilia, and it's just like, what? Really?
I want to meet the Alfred that has to live in that universe.
You narcissistic effing.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Dude, that would be awesome. Dude, no, he makes Alfred dress up as Robin. That's his outfit the whole time. Guys, man, Robin, man, that one Robin that did make it.
Oh yeah. Well, that's just making me think of the '60s TV show where every once in a while somebody would like accuse Bruce Wayne of being Batman.
Yeah.
So then Alfred would dress up as
he would dress up
Batman,
as Batman.
so that they could be in the same place at the same time. And you're like, you're clearly a 60-year-old man with a mustache.
But
This is
Batman.
not Batman. But I mean, this is the same logic where you can change a hairstyle and take off glasses, and all of a sudden you're not Clark Kent anymore. So.
Nope. But that would be funny to see. Definitely somebody out there at DC needs to write this.
Yeah.
I would love to read
I'd be down with that. And get me a free copy.
There you go. The Batman fan over here. So, on our next segment, which is videos from the net,
Woohoo.
we got two, because again, we were kind of slowed down by the corona. So, your video I think is funny. I like yours a lot.
Yeah, well, so I'm big, I have a 4-year-old daughter. And so I've seen the movie Frozen, I think at least, I lost count. It's a lot of times. And so this little clip is a little TikTok video, about 15, 20 seconds or so. It's just kind of a funny take on a certain iconic scene and moment from the movie. Not safe for work, got a little bit of vulgarity, but I thought it was funny, so check it out.
Do you want to build a snowman? Elsa, we're building a fucking snowman. Oh.
I really think that's how it should have been. Keep the door in. You're going to build me a dang snowman. Let's go.
Well, and for me, like, and this is a problem with a lot of movies, right? But it's like, I don't understand why Elsa just doesn't have, like, that whole song, by the way, is like really sad, and like there's that point in the middle where like their parents die, and you see Anna just like trying to talk to Elsa on the other side of the door, and she's just like ignoring her, and I'm like, your parents just died. Like, talk to her. It's like literally all you have to do is just like 5 seconds to be like, listen, I have these superpowers that I can't control, and that's why I try and stay shut away. Problem solved.
But it's the end of the movie. It went from a 2-hour-long movie to 10 minutes.
That's fine. It could be a short. I've seen it enough times. It could be a 10-minute short in front of a better Pixar movie.
And then she's just like, I'm sorry, Elsa. I'll give you some space right now, but let's talk about it when you're done. Okay, thank you for understanding. And then comes back like a week later. Okay, I'm ready to talk about it. And then that's the end of the film.
Perfect.
There's your new film, Pixar, or whoever made that one. I don't know
That's
who it
just
was.
Disney.
Is it just Disney?
Disney.
Disney, there's your new film.
Yeah.
There's your Frozen 3.
Yeah, I have a feeling they won't do that because the first 2 movies have made boo-hoo bucks.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's move on to your video.
So, my video takes a little homage to Disney as well.
Yeah.
It kind of mixes a scene from the old cartoon Hercules, which I did like that film.
Old. God, don't call it an old cartoon.
25 years.
Oh, God.
It's an
It's
old
my
cartoon.
childhood. Now I'm old.
You are. You're not that much younger than me. So it comes from Hercules, and it mixes my favorite thing, Spider-Man. In this case, Spider-Woman, though, which I still love all the Spider family. And take a look at that here.
Keep moving, Junior.
Lady, but aren't you a damsel in distress?
I'm a damsel. I'm in distress. I can handle this. Have a nice day.
Okay, so I love that scene.
Yeah.
Because Meg, was it like at a river bend or something?
Yeah, it's like
that,
the original scene in Hercules is like it's literally the moment where Hercules and Meg meet.
Yeah.
And she's, like being held hostage or kind of battling against like a centaur in a river, and Hercules of course, sees her and goes, "A damsel in distress, I'm gonna save her," and she's like, I don't need you. I don't need saving. Leave me alone. And it's like it's a great moment. It's because Hercules is just completely confused. He's like, but this is what heroes do. They save damsels in this distress. And she's like, yeah, no, leave me alone.
Right? It was just like, so we got strong female characters even back then.
Yeah.
So
we've had them forever, Aaron.
Yeah.
Just not enough of them.
That is very true. That is very,
We need
very
more.
true.
We need
Always need more. Always. So, moving to our next subject.
Yeah.
Geek news today. Which there's kind of a lot of news.
We got
and
a lot to get through.
Yeah. After like looking at everything, I was like, there's a little bit, and I was like, no, we added a lot as we were looking at everything too.
Yeah.
So
Let's start
Yes.
in the world of the geekiest thing we could think of. Comics.
Yeah.
Right?
Right up my alley and
Yeah,
your
for
alley.
sure.
So I think we talked just about a couple weeks ago about some turtle news that was coming out.
We did.
And this week, starting August 20th, we found out, well, not found out, but we know that the new storyline is going to start the TMNT team called The Last Ronin. It does bring back the original creators, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird.
Laird.
See, I'm terrible with names. I'm just terrible. But both of them are coming back to...
I'm just going to start calling you Aaron until you can figure it out.
This is why you say the names. So both of them are coming back to write this story called The Last Ronin, which basically takes our turtles, and 3 of them have passed away, and there's only 1 turtle left. And it's basically him, I guess, dealing with it.
Right, he's Ronin is like a roaming samurai. It's a samurai without a home, basically. And so, in this sense, we have, one of the 4 turtles is a samurai without a home. He's lost his family. He doesn't have anyone left. And, it's really interesting to think about which one it is, because they haven't revealed which one is still alive. And in the images that we've seen, he actually has all of the weapons from all of the various turtles. So he's got the bow staff of Donatello. He's got the samurai sword of Leonardo. He's got the sais from Raphael. I think you said he had a grappling
He had like a grappling claw, which they all use, but I think Michelangelo uses it kind of the most.
Yeah, and I didn't see in the imagery. I'm gonna look at it again. I think they are there on his belt. Right there. I think it's there, but it's kind of
the image will be right here.
It's a little bit more hidden, but it's really interesting to think about which turtle it might be.
Exactly.
Because I think there's different ways you could go depending on which one it is. I mean, for me, like I think there's really interesting stories to tell with just about any of them if they're the last ones alive, and if, as we're assuming, it was some sort of tragic event that killed off the 3 brothers rather than they got old and died, right?
I'd hope not. I hope it's not just, we caught pneumonia,
right?
We caught COVID.
So, I think, Donatello is the one that's the hardest one for me to crack,
right.
Where I go, I don't know what kind of storyline it would be if he was the last surviving turtle. I'm sure they could do it in an interesting way. I just can't think of one.
Yeah.
But like with someone like Leonardo, you could see that really the guilt of, he was the leader, he was the responsible one, he was supposed to protect his brothers.
Yeah.
So you could really explore that scenario. With Michelangelo, you could have a really interesting storyline where, now he's this fun-loving guy who's always, kind of joking around and having fun, and now he's having to deal with the fact that his 3 brothers are dead and he's the last one, survivor's guilt kind of thing coming into play, and that could be really interesting. But the one that is most interesting to me would actually be Raphael. Even though he's my least favorite character of the Turtles, I think that could be a really interesting exploration of him having to come to grips with his anger, because I can imagine this is only going to make him angrier.
Yeah.
That he's the last surviving turtle, that his brothers have all been killed or whatever happened, and that now he's going to have to reconcile with that fact and with that world, and he's going to actually have to come to grips with his anger.
Yeah.
And so that, to me, even though Raphael is my least favorite turtle,
Makes sense,
I
though.
think that sounds really interesting.
Right. And
What about you?
I can see that. Now, I think you had said off camera, the comic storyline was written or started in the 80s, right? They started working on an idea.
1987 was kind of like, it was a lost storyline that they had where they kind of were looking at this futuristic
Right.
storyline, but then they didn't really follow
Yeah,
through on
it was
it.
a little dark for the
Yeah.
times, I guess they thought. So my thing is, we have some panels out there that you can see, or hopefully I can have a couple right here. I kind of agree with you. I would love to see Donatello, but I think Donatello is not cold, but I think he would build stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's what he would do to cope with it. And I think, like you said, the mechanic at that point, the tinkerer, he would have a lot of gadgets, I would figure.
Sure.
And by the time he's ready to go fight or avenge his brothers, I think he would have almost in a sense like an Iron Man suit. Like, okay, I built this now.
Sure,
I'm ready to
sure.
fight. But I'm not getting that sense. I honestly would like to see, or think it would be Michelangelo, because he's the fun-loving one. He's the one that always is lazy and goofy, and maybe that caused them to not make it. Maybe he wasn't there in time. Maybe he felt like almost that survivor's grief at that point, or remorse. Or maybe he feels like if I would have just not been so goofy, I would have been able to save him. So now by this point in the storyline, he's gone darker. He's gone no, he's almost more like Raphael and maybe Leonardo put together, like their personalities, like the seriousness of Leonardo mixed with some of the anger and resentment now he has towards his own self of Raphael.
Yeah.
So I think it could be Michelangelo who they would follow.
Well, and if you look at what we have out so far, it looks like the first issue is titled "Wish for Death," and so you have to assume this is kind of the mentality of this last surviving turtle, is that he'd rather be dead. He'd rather be one of his brothers than be the last surviving member.
Yeah.
This is killing him. And so that title, I've pitched to Raphael, you pitched to Michelangelo. That title actually makes me lean Leonardo, because I can imagine that's how he would react.
Yeah,
like
I agree with you on that.
He would be like, it should have been me. I should be the one that should be dead and not my brothers, that kind of thing. So, who knows? We'll find out. In August, so in about a little over a month, the first issue will be released, and then we'll figure it out as we go through. But it looks super interesting.
Yeah, I may pick this up since it's self-contained storyline. I may pick that one up and just read it.
And then I will borrow it.
There you go. So sticking to comic book news.
Yeah.
So Marvel has the new event coming out, I believe, fall or winter this year. King in Black. So it follows, it looks like the symbiote storyline of there being their king, who is now basically coming to wreak havoc. For those of you who don't know or don't understand what a symbiote is, Venom is a symbiote. So if you watch the Venom movie, you kind of have an idea. But just to kind of help give you a background, he started off with Peter Parker from the Secret Wars back in the 80s. He was taking over Peter, slowly turning him not evil, but maybe more angrier. And it would bring out the stuff that Peter didn't like. Eventually, Peter...
Like bad dancing.
Bad dancing being one of them. The emo haircut. It brought out the emo haircut. Dang,
I want you to drop that in, by the way.
No.
No, I mean the dancing.
Oh, the dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that'll be there. That was terrible. But it does bring that out.
Yeah.
It brings your your darker side out.
And that Sam Raimi, who directed those movies, did not want to do Venom. He didn't like the character. I mean, the character was only introduced in the 80s and early 90s.
It was the 80s, yeah. Because it was the Secret War story.
I think. And so he, it wasn't a character he grew up with. It was not, and he did not want to do that story. And the studio basically forced him to do Venom. And so to me, that's a little bit of a middle finger back to the studio saying, "Oh, you want me to put Venom in? Well, this is who Venom is."
Yeah, they screwed that up so bad.
It's terrible.
And I hated that movie.
Yeah, if that's your only exposure to Venom, or even the movie that just came out a couple years ago, if that's what you know of Venom, you need to know more.
I'm sorry.
You need to read the comics,
Yeah,
because
go
Venom's
read
a
the
way
comics.
cooler character
really
is
is.
portrayed in those.
And he is
movies.
co-created. He's only as a co-creator, Todd McFarlane.
Yeah.
So definitely check them out. Like I said, it's a symbiote. It's its own race. Famous people being, of course, Peter Parker. Then it goes to Eddie Brock, who we see in both movies, taking him over, and of course blaming Spider-Man. Becomes basically his arch nemesis. Eventually, it gives him cancer, moves on because it feeds off of the host. It basically eats away at your body.
Right.
It moves on to Matt Gargan, who is the Scorpion. And eventually, the last main person they have is Flash Thompson. Of course, he's been on other people, but those were our main ones.
Yeah, and Flash then becomes Agent Venom, is that right?
Agent Venom, but there are times where Venom himself comes out. And he makes, basically, because he controls him, he basically makes Flash forget what happened for those few moments while he eats people.
Yeah.
And then it's like, where am I?
He's hungry.
Oh, okay, I guess I just killed everybody. Like, cool. But he didn't realize he, like, ate some of them, too.
Yeah.
So it's a good storyline. You know, we have the anti-Venom, we have Carnage, we have Venom, and there's a whole slew of other symbiotes that we get in the comic books that I'm not a big fan of, but those guys, I like Carnage, I like anti-Venom and Venom, of course.
Yep.
So I definitely recommend checking this out because it's going to follow the Symbiote King, who is trying to now basically take over everything, it seems like. And like you said on our cover before, we have like Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man, Cyclops, Spider-Man,
Wolverine,
and this weird skull-headed looking one. Because it's going to combine like the Venom storylines they've been doing, the Silver Surfer storyline Black from quite a few years ago. It's going to bring everything together and talking about how the symbiotes, I guess, trying to take over.
Yeah, Venom, Carnage, kind of all those things. And yeah, I mean, you speculated off camera that might be Ghost Rider symbiote, which that sounds pretty awesome.
That would be crazy. And like I said off camera too, because Silver Surfer Black comments on it, what if he would get the symbiote? Like a pyrocosmic one? Like he would just, I'm just going to destroy a world today because I'm bored.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that would be interesting.
So yeah, that looks like an interesting storyline coming out in several months. And coming out later this month is San Diego Comic-Con International. Now it's all digital this year. They actually announced their lineup this last week, so there'll be some pre-recorded panels as well as some live ones. We're going to have some stuff. The biggest movie that I saw that's going to be there, have a presence, is the new Bill and Ted Face the Music. It doesn't seem like Disney or Warner Brothers is going to have much of a presence there, but maybe HBO, which is kind of a subsidiary of Warner Brothers. It sounds like they'll be there. Hulu and some other things will have some presence. There will be some panels and different panelists. I think Nathan Fillion is doing one. I think there was one even with Joss Whedon, I believe. So there's some interesting panels out there that you can check out. And so I would definitely, recommend checking it out, going to, their official website and seeing if there's anything that catches your fancy. But it doesn't look like we'll get anything from, Marvel Studios. We're not going to get anything from the new TV shows that are going to be on Disney Plus or any of their movies. Doesn't look like any of the major DC movies are going to be there. And even from a comic perspective, DC Comics has their own convention about a month later, so they might not reveal a bunch of stuff at San Diego either because they're just going to do it at their own convention.
Yeah, so they're just going to wait and hold out. I mean, there could be some big players, like you said. HBO, Hulu are not small companies, and Hulu is 60% owned by Disney, so they might have some stuff they could drop as well. But it'll be cool to check it out. I mean, especially like you say, we have Bill and Ted's Face the Music would be a good one to see some more stuff on that. Or maybe they'll even talk about Black Widow, because that comes out November 6th.
Yeah, I think they kind of said they're probably not going to, but there will be a cosplay element, even though people aren't going to be able to be at the convention. Cosplay is obviously a huge part of this. They're doing a cosplay showcase, and they're asking people to kind of send in their cosplay and stuff. So if you're a cosplayer, you probably already know this, but if you don't, check out San Diego Comic-Con. Go to their webpage or go to their Twitter, and you can see they're kind of asking for details, or they're kind of asking for you to enter in, so you can find the details on how to enter into their kind of presentation. And I don't know if they're doing like a contest exactly, but it's more of just an opportunity to show off your cosplay skills and stuff like that. So
definitely check it out.
Yeah,
that'll
be cool.
I can't wait to watch it. It'll be the first time I can actually say I was at San Diego Comic-Con.
I think that'll be true for a lot of people.
Right?
All right.
So your Batman news.
Yeah, let's move on. We got a couple of Batman storylines this way. You love Batman too. Don't give me this crap. I love Spider-Man too.
I know. It's just more fun.
We both love everybody, but I mean, we both know Batman's better than Spider-Man.
Until Spider-Man has to find him and beat him every time.
No, I mean, Bruce Wayne would just, get Peter thrown in jail for something because poor people.
Let's face it.
Can't get out of prison.
All he would do is just be like, "Here's $100,000," and Peter's like, "Just gonna lay down." You beat me, as he counts the money to make sure it's all there.
See,
that's what Peter would do, really.
Batman wins. All right. Well, the two big news stories is that actually HBO Max greenlit a series coming to their new streaming service, HBO Max, that is going to be a spin-off of the new Batman movie, and it's being developed by the director of the Batman movie, Matt Reeves, and he also did the second two movies of the most recent Planet of the Apes trilogy.
That was Rise and War, you said?
Dawn and War.
Dawn and War, okay.
Yep, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and then War for the Planet of the Apes were the ones that he directed. Dawn, I think, is my favorite of the trilogy.
That's the first one,
second
right?
one.
Oh,
the second one is, I think, my favorite. But they're all really good.
Oh, yeah.
But he's directing the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, and he's also developing this series that is supposedly going to be centered around the Gotham Police Department. The title they were kicking around was Gotham PD, which I think is really interesting, not just for the fact that, it's interesting to live in that world and be in Gotham, but in the environment that we're in today, where a lot of police shows or police, things like that have kind of come under scrutiny, come under fire. Some of them have been canceled. Cops was taken off the air. Other things like that.
Rookie was going to stay, and it has so far.
Yeah, and I mean, there's even, I think, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. A lot of the creators of it were like, we need to figure out a way to do it differently. We're still going to do the show. We still want to do something, but we're going to change something. So there's a lot going on in the world of police TV.
Yeah.
And so to have a new series greenlit in this moment about a police department, I thought was pretty interesting.
It would be interesting. I'm excited for it. I mean, it'd be interesting because, I think we talked off camera, Gotham, the show Gotham, followed Commissioner Gordon, and never talked about Batman, and I didn't like it. I think it lasted 2 seasons, and that's it.
Yeah, I didn't make it that far.
It wasn't good. So I'm kind of curious, is this going to follow more of just the beat cops? Because it would be kind of cool to see, even if it's just hints of Batman, but at least we know he's there. But maybe the aftermath of a fight, or maybe they're dealing with some of these villains.
Yeah, I'm really hoping, not that I'm looking for a carbon copy of something like Law and Order, but I'm really hoping that we get some Harvey Dent too.
That'd be cool before he becomes Two-Face.
Right. I don't know if he's going to already be Two-Face in this movie, but hopefully not. Yeah. And hopefully we can get maybe a couple seasons of Harvey Dent on this show, and then in the next sequel or the one after that, then he's turning to Two-Face, and now you have all of this character backstory. Because I think that's what's always missing. Anytime they've done it twice with Tommy Lee Jones and Batman Forever. It was Batman Forever. And then Aaron Eckhart in The Dark Knight. And both times we just really didn't, the first time we didn't get any time with Harvey Dent.
No, it was he got shot in the head and that was it, right?
Even because in the first two movies it's portrayed by a different character. It's portrayed by Billy D. Williams. Is Harvey Dent, but he gets no character storyline or anything, and then they replace him by the time they turn him into Two-Face. And then with Aaron Eckhart, we get most of a movie of him as Harvey Dent, but it's just that fall of Harvey Dent. The White Knight, as they call him in that movie, and then the fall. I think that's the weakest part of a really good movie of The Dark Knight. It's still a good. Good storyline, but I think it'd be really interesting to have more of that. So if they can find a way to do that in this show, I'll be super excited.
Oh, heck yeah. I'd be excited for that. That'd be cool because, again, we have also Bullock.
Harvey Bullock. Yeah.
Harvey Bullock. We have Gordon. We could have Harvey Dent. Harvey Dent. You could bring out maybe even how Monroe, or was it? Yeah, Monroe, the mob guy, starts infiltrating the Gotham PD people. Because, what's her name? Ramirez? because she's in the comics too.
Yeah.
So maybe so how like her backstory of like how her mom did get sick and how oh, you need some money, here you go, oh, don't worry about it, and then she realizes later, oh crap, it's Maroney that's giving me this money.
Right.
Like that would be cool because that was one thing I didn't get, like
Maroney or
like,
Falcone, or there's all kinds of Italian crime
Falcone,
bosses.
whatever it is.
Or
I mean, we all know I'm terrible with names anyway.
That's
so.
all right.
But I mean, it'd be cool to see, like, because in the movie they just comment, "Oh, they got to me. My mom went to the hospital."
Right.
But you know, he's a villain. So how did that still work out? You know, does he own the hospital maybe? And he's like, "Hey, jack up that person's prices so the cops can't afford it." Like,
I don't know.
That'd be cool to see stuff like that.
Yeah,
too.
and it'll be interesting to see which characters we get, because I mean, there is, in the upcoming Batman movie, I think it's Jeffrey Wright is the actor who's cast as Gordon.
Okay.
And he is a movie actor, but he's also done television. I think he was in, what is that HBO series, or not HBO series, it is on HBO. It's the one with Anthony Hopkins. It's like about the robot world kind of thing. Westworld?
Yeah,
Westworld?
That's HBO.
I'm pretty sure Jeffrey Wright's in that. He's been in like the James Bond movies. He's been in actually a lot of stuff.
Who's in James Bond?
He's the FBI agent, Felix Leiter.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
And
Okay.
he's going to be the voice of the Watcher in Marvel's What If show. He's a fairly big actor. So if they can get him to be like maybe the main character of this Gotham PD show, or is it going to explore the beat cops? It's not Commissioner
like
Gordon.
that.
It's not, and he only makes rare appearances. It'll be interesting to see what they do.
I think that'd be cool to show like how a beat cop deals with a supervillain.
Yeah, it's almost HBO and DC's version of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
I feel like, that was on ABC and it was family friendly. Like this is probably going to be a lot darker and grittier, and have the freedom to go places that a network TV show doesn't.
Oh
so
yeah, I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to it.
I am.
But sticking with Batman news, we do have Batwoman news.
Batwoman. I can't do that well.
Which we have new casting information.
And he'll say the name because I can't even. I'm not
Yes,
even trying.
Javisha Leslie has been cast as the new Batwoman in the CW series. Ruby Rose obviously exited, I think it was about a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
And
Which we talked about too.
we did. And she actually had a reaction to this casting news. She had tweeted out, "This is amazing. I'm so glad Batwoman will be played by an amazing black woman. I want to congratulate Javisha Leslie on taking over the Bat Cape. You are walking into an amazing cast and crew. I can't wait to watch season 2. You are going to be amazing." So it sounds like Ruby Rose was ready to move on for whatever reason. We don't know exactly why.
Never said.
But she's on board with this casting, and I think it. Certainly, I'm not really familiar with this actress, but I'm looking forward to it.
All I know is she has commented she's bisexual, and she is, of course, a black actress.
Yeah.
So she says that she's happy to, kind of be, I guess, another groundbreaking thing for the LGBTQ plus, and that she hopes that they can keep true to the nature of the characters. Now,
Yeah, and
I don't know who she's playing.
She's playing a new character, or at least
new
not one
person,
I'm
right?
familiar with, but
Yeah.
it is not Ruby Rose's character, who is Kate Kane.
Right.
She's going to portray Ryan Wilder.
Which I don't know.
It's not a name I'm familiar with, but it looks like she's going to be a brand new Batwoman.
Yeah.
And just learning about being a Batwoman. So definitely there's some interesting things to explore there. I did not watch the first season. I've never really gotten into any of the CW shows. So I feel like maybe I need to.
You probably should. Like, I will say this: the first season of Batwoman, I only lasted about 5-6 episodes before I gave up on it. I wasn't a fan. I'll be honest with Ruby doing the role. I didn't think she was that good of an actress. And I think I even talked about it on one of the shows. I don't like the fight choreography, and I'm all about the choreography. That's why I loved Arrow so much, and I could kind of forgive some of the bad episodes because the fight scenes were good.
Yeah.
Where in this one, the fight scenes. She is actually an MMA fighter, I believe, or she knows some type of martial arts. And when you see her throw some of the punches, you could see that maybe it was just bad camera angles, but you could see like the fist is this far away.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, like either get a better camera
not good.
angle or learn how to do this better. So that's why I fell off eventually. Storylines just never caught my attention. But who knows? Maybe this girl will bring me back around.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to
Looking
try to
forward
give
to
her a
it.
chance.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, something that we need to talk about, maybe.
Do we?
And he was a Marvel villain.
Yeah.
He is a Marvel villain who is now jumping to a Disney show movie.
Correct.
Jude Law is in talks to possibly play Captain Hook in a live-action Peter Pan.
Yeah, I'm not excited. Peter Pan has never been like even the old animated show like Peter Pan. I was never, it's weird.
Okay.
I was never the kid that didn't want to grow up. Like I always wanted to be an adult. So like I have never connected to Peter Pan.
Okay.
Like
I can
ever
give you
in my
that.
life. Like I always thought he was like the dumbest character. The Lost Boys were stupid. I liked Captain Hook way better than I liked Peter Pan. And so actually, I grew up on Hook, the Robin Williams movie.
Yes, that was a good one. Though.
With Steven Spielberg directed. That's a good movie. And so that plus the animation, I don't need any other version of Peter Pan. I know they did one a few years ago where, who was it? Hugh Douglas, or not Hugh Douglas, what's his name? Wolverine. What's
Jackman.
his name? Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Hugh Douglas.
I was trying to figure out where did Douglas come from.
I don't know. Hugh Jackman
Yeah.
played Captain Hook, I believe, in that.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it got terrible reviews. I don't need a Peter Pan movie.
See, I don't know. I'm excited because I like Jude Law as a villain.
Yeah.
I think he can play that good, sinister villain.
Okay.
But to me, Captain Hook is just too goofy. In the cartoon, he was so goofy, and you had the whole thing with him and his little first mate and the crocodile or
Shmi.
whatever. Yeah, I can live without that. If he's gonna be Captain Hook, I want it to be a serious kind of character now.
It's still
don't
going to
know.
be a Disney movie, though,
Yeah, like how
called Peter Pan and Wendy. So,
I'm not excited for that.
no.
I'm just excited to see Jude Law maybe.
I don't
be a
want to see
villain.
child romance. I'm just going to be honest.
That's true. That's exactly what it's going to be. Keeping confidence alone. But yeah, like, I don't know. I want to see Jude Law as a villain again.
Yeah.
Like, I want him to be in Captain Marvel too. That I do want. Like, I want to see him in Captain Marvel too as that villainous kind of role.
Yeah, I mean, I
But-
think they will definitely bring him back.
Yeah.
They left him alive for a reason. They're
Oh,
going to
yeah.
bring him back, whether it's in Captain Marvel 2 or in a future movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to be running around in that universe.
I like Jude Law as an actor. He has been he was Dumbledore in the most
the younger
recent
Dumbledore,
Fantastic Beasts movie, which that movie was terrible, but I like Jude Law in the movie.
He saved it. He tried.
I think he's a really good actor, but
Yeah.
I'm just not interested in this movie at all.
I'm not. I'm not looking forward to it. Maybe it'll do good, maybe not. But like I said, I'm just excited to see him coming back as a villain kind of character. So moving over to video game news now, kind of getting away from comics and
TV and movie and-
Disney,
yeah.
Pixar, all that stuff. Xbox is reportedly telling developers that the next gen upgrades should be free. So I don't know if you don't know what that means. It basically says, so let's say you have your Xbox One or your Xbox One S or X, whichever one you have right now, and you buy a
Nothing's ever
video
free.
game. Maybe because they did this before and it did work.
Yeah.
So what happens is, let's say you buy a game now, and we're now towards the end of the life cycle for all of these current gen consoles. So meaning they're about to end, they're going to move on and make these new ones, and we're going to get video games for that. But let's say you want to buy a new game that comes out next month. Well, in 2 months roughly, about November-ish time frame, which is about what these developers do or these consoles do. And they come around November because they try to hit the Christmas time frame. So say you buy a game now or October maybe, they want you to be able to upgrade that game to the newest graphics for the next gen consoles, for the Xbox Series X. So what they're saying is they want it to be free. They want you to be able to buy the game for your Xbox One, but still be able to get the Xbox One or Xbox Series X version of it. So the Xbox Series X is also running 4K. It's running a lot more power behind it. It can have better graphics. So they want you to upgrade to the newest graphics at no charge. They did do this from the 360 to the Xbox One back in the day, but it was only a few games. It was only like Halo, Destiny, and like 1 or 2 other games, and that was it. you would buy it for the 360, and you got a free copy for your Xbox One as well, and you would just go download it digitally, and bam, you had 2 copies of the game. You can go play it on your 360, or you can play it on your Xbox One.
Yeah.
And it's the same concept. You play on your Xbox One or your Series X. I don't know how it's going to work because the developers do kind of want it to be free too, because they want people to come buy their game no matter what.
Yeah.
But that's almost double work. You're almost getting 2 games for the price of 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously the concept is, you buy the game, and you only have to pay for it once.
Yeah.
And so, let's say, it's a sports game that's coming out next month. You're a big Madden player, and that comes out the month before the new console. Well, you want people to buy the game right away. You don't want them to wait until they buy the new console, but then you also want them to buy the new console. And so you don't want to tell them, well, none of your old games are going to work. You're going to have to buy them all over again. So it makes sense. It's a smart business decision. Like you said, they've done it before. And so it's not surprising that they've chosen to go this route again. At the end of the day, it's a smart decision for the company because it makes your consumer happy.
Exactly.
And it also will drive business rather than, people maybe buying the game and then not buying the new console or buying the new console but holding off on buying the game. It just kind of cuts all that out.
Exactly.
And especially when you're talking about digital copies of games, spoiler alert, they don't cost that much.
No. You don't have to manufacture it. It's literally just move the save file over.
Right. They already have it, so they can just give it to you to download and you're good to go.
And I don't know much on the rendering side of it all. I mean, I'm sure once you have it rendered one way, there's a few buttons you click and it'll render in a higher graphic and it can handle more power possibly.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if these developers do it. Now, Xbox does have a lot of first-party control, so they probably will make 343 Industries. The guys who made, what's the other one? I don't know. I can't think of all the games right now, but they have about 4 or 5 first-party developers, meaning they are owned by Microsoft. So they can probably tell them, you will make it free because, well, we own you. We're going to make you do it. But who knows if any third-party support will do it, like Bungie or any of the other big people out there, THQ, EA, all of them. But hopefully, like you said, a smart decision. If you're going to release it a month beforehand, why not let them get the nicer one because it'll still help them look good.
Yep.
It doesn't help just the developers of Xbox, it'll help your publishers as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested. I mean, I'm glad Microsoft is choosing this. I mean, they have now gone for backward capability for the console, so hopefully to go all the way back to the original Xbox. So that's given us a huge library. It'll be nice to see what they can do. I'm excited.
For sure.
I'm ready to play more games.
So, but I think that's pretty much it for Geek News today. Did you have any more stories that you wanted to talk about?
But enough on the news. That's
Yep.
it. But on a lighter note, of course, what we dropped yesterday, the MCU retrospective review of Infinity War.
Avengers Infinity War. We've been building to, this is the Infinity Saga. We've been building to this movie just like the MCU did. We didn't take 10 years to get there, but it was a long time.
It is.
And so we've gotten there. We're at Infinity War. We're almost done. There's a few movies left. We've still got, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is the next video. Then, of course, Captain Marvel, Avengers Endgame, and it closes out with Spider-Man Far From Home. So we've got a few more videos coming, but please, please, please go to our YouTube page. You can check it out at Official GYGO, and you can check out our videos. And we've been having a lot of fun shooting them. We've been having a lot of fun kind of revisiting a lot of these movies and kind of looking at them in today's eyes. Some of them obviously are more recent releases than others. We went back to the first Iron Man, which is 2008. And, then we're looking at something like Infinity War, which just came out, 2 years ago. So it's super interesting. We want to know your thoughts. Definitely check out our video and let us know, if we're crazy, if we are right on the money, all of those things. Well, I know I am. But, like I said, we've been having a lot of fun revisiting these movies and, watching them again, but then also being able to talk about them again in the context of the larger arc and everything that's happened. It's super interesting. So go give that a check on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe, everything like there. Do the same here on this video. Let us know, what news stories we talked about that you're really interested in. If you're going to buy anything from Take My Money.
Take my money.
And also, if you enjoyed the videos that we put up there. We want to know, and maybe, drop in a funny video yourself if you have one.
Yeah.
We want to engage with you guys. We want to talk with you guys. We have a lot of fun.
We do, and I really do enjoy this, and I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. Let us know what you think of the new format with the Take My Money and, of course, videos from around the net, or from the net. If you have any you want to, comments, you're like, hey, I don't like that segment, we want you to be done with it, then, yeah, maybe we'll drop it. You never know. We want to do this for you and have more interaction with you guys. And, of course, leave questions below, because we do like doing our little Q&A at the end of these videos. We didn't have a video last week, so I don't think we have any questions today.
We don't have any questions today.
No.
I have a question for you.
What?
Why is it that Batman is better than Spider-Man?
Okay, first of all, he is not better than Spider-Man.
That's not.
Second of all,
You have incorrectly answered the question.
No, because Spider-Man can beat him.
That's not. I said, why is Batman better? I didn't
'Cause he's
say.
not.
I didn't say. Could Spider-Man beat Batman in a fight?
Okay.
That's not what I said. I said Batman is better than
Like
Spider-Man.
more successful in business, better, or
He's just better.
I mean, he's a better successful businessman.
Sure.
But Peter is
Sure.
a better photographer.
And have you ever seen Batman take photos? You don't know. You don't know.
He doesn't know. He has Alfred do it probably.
Probably.
He's like, Alfred, take a selfie for me. Thanks. I'm gonna
That's
go
fine.
post this on social
So what
media."
you're telling me is that Batman outsources his work?
Yes, he does.
That's pretty
Probably
smart.
hired Spider-Man at some point too.
That's pretty smart, actually.
He probably outsources Spider-Man. Like, hey, I need some pictures of Batman. He's like, all right, cool, here you go. Wait a minute. Why does Bruce Wayne look like? And why does he have all these memorabilia of Batman in his Batcave? Or the mansion, I mean. And
Yeah.
he's like, gosh, he's obsessed with Batman. Man, this guy's
He
weird.
sure is.
That's how they link the story together.
I love it. I love it. There's your crossover event.
Yep.
Marvel DC.
He's the one that does all the clipping for him and all that. And
Oh,
Spider-Man's
God.
like, okay, I don't know why he likes him, but all right, cool. But,
All right.
guys, definitely check out everything below and let us know what you think. And always stay geeky, guys.